When we think of Christmas, Christians worldwide tend to believe that it is the anniversary of Jesus Christ, but is that really true? Jesus' exact date of birth is unknown and will always be. However, there is some biblical evidence that can lead us to an approximate date. Let's take a look at one biblical passage, Luke 2:8 and 9.
And there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified.
It was a Jewish habit to send their sheep to pasture from spring until early October. Afterwards, they would return from the fields for shelter and warmth. So since the birth of Jesus was announced during the time they were on pasture, it gives us a timeline from March to October to work with. For a more precise date, we can also use the birth of John the Baptist as a reference, which Luke 1 tells us of. Zacharias, John's father, began working on a temple, and after he left, his wife Elizabeth became pregnant of John. When Elizabeth was in her 6th month of pregnancy, Gabriel visited Mary to announce that she would give birth to Jesus. Therefore, Jesus' birth can be reckoned from the date of when John's father Zacharias' priestly service ended. Jewish priests were divided into 24 courses, which ministered throughout the year in the temple. Zacharias served in the order of Abijah, which was the 8th priestly course, as described in 1 Chronicles 24, 6-19.
The scribe Shemaiah, son of Nethanel, a Levite, recorded their names in the presence of the king and of the officials, Zadok the priest, Ahimelech son of Abiathar, and the heads of families of the priests and of the Levites, one family being taken for Eleazar, and then one from Ithamar. The first lot fell to Jehoiarib, the second to Jediah, the third to Harim, the fourth to Searim, the fifth to Malchijah, the sixth to Mijamin, the seventh to Hakkoz, the eighth to Abijah, the ninth to Jeshua, the 10th to Shechaniah, the 11th to Eliashib, the 12th to Jachim, the 13th to Huppah, the 14th to Jeshabib, the 15th to Bilgah, the 16th to Immer, the 17th to Hazir, the 18th to Hapizez, the 19th to Pethahiah, the 20th to Jehezekel, the 21st to Jachin, the 22nd to Gamul, the 23rd to Deliah, and the 24th to Mahaziah. This was their appointed order of ministering when they entered the temple of the Lord, according to regulations prescribed for them by the ancestor Aaron, as the Lord, the God of Israel, had commanded him.
These orders served the temple during the 10th week of the priestly cycle, of which its start coincides with the second Sabbath in the month of Sivan, which by our calendar goes around mid-May to mid-June. Luke 1, 24-28 and 31 records these events.
Now after those days, his wife Elizabeth conceived, and she hid herself 5 months, saying, Thus the Lord has dealt with me, in the days when he looked on me, to take away my reproach among people. Now in the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent by God to a city of Galilee, named Nazareth, to a virgin betrothed to a man whose name was Joseph, of the house of David. The virgin's name was Mary. And having come in, the angel said to her, Rejoice, highly favored one, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women. And behold, you will conceive in your womb and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Jesus.
With this evidence from the Bible, we can finally approximate Jesus' birthday to be around the time of Tishri, mid to late September, a date that can be obtained by starting at John's conception, Sivan, June, counting 6 months until Gabriel's announcement of Jesus' conception, Kislev, December. Finally, add another 9 months for the time it takes a human gestation, and we reach Tishri, September, the month Jesus was born.